Good afternoon, everyone, and all our audience. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to yet another informative session that can help you navigate your career by higher education and career community powered by Thinkly. Thinkly, as you all know, is a platform that curates great content across various topics such as business, entrepreneurship, health and wellness, culture, philosophy, and of course, higher education and career. At Thinkly, we intend to, at this particular community, which is powered by Thinkly, we intend to connect students, professionals, and educator to facilitate career excellence so that they can understand the nuances of each career stream. My name is Vijay Sonawane. I'm a higher education consultant and I help students to get into world's top 100 universities with scholarship through a structured mentoring process. In today's topic, how AI can and will transform your career, we have with us a very eminent personality, Mr. Ajay Kashikar. Ajay brings with him 36 years of a very rich experience across the demographics. He has worked in strategy management, IT, and he has worked with a lot of big names in the industry. Very recently, he was featured in Outlook India as one of the 10 impactful and influential personalities to draw inspiration from in 2024 for his contribution to IT solution for MNCs worldwide. He holds four patents. He holds four patent grants for manufacturing and artificial artificial intelligence image analysis. He has authority in the field of data science, machine learning, and IoT, that is Internet of Things. We all know that today AI is a very common word, right? And we all know that it has a huge length of application. Whether you are in finance, whether you are in healthcare, whether you are in marketing or any other field, AI is reshaping industries and creating new opportunities. And at the same time, we all also fear that eventually AI may make us jobless. And therefore, what we need to do. So, though we have a very generic understanding about AI, we are here in this particular session going to discuss what is AI in real sense from Ajay. And therefore, Ajay is here. And I'm really happy, Ajay, that you took some time out and has agreed to come on board and interact with our audience. So Ajay is also going to present us whatever he is trying to say through a few slides so that we have a better idea. So welcome Ajay and welcome to Thinkly's community of higher education and career.
Hi Vijay, very good afternoon. And being in a Saturday, this is the good opportunity for me to join on to this Thinkly platform, and I'm really honored to be with all of you to give some perspective, which I know a little bit about the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and I'm sure it should be giving some insight to the people who are today participating for building their career or may get increase their knowledge base. So I would just like to share the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give
Yeah,
me.
please do that. Please do that. And let me ask you my first question.
Yeah,
So, rather, we all know that story that when blind people try to understand what elephant is, you know, and all of them, they try to define elephant as per their perception. And I think
right.
it is so true when it comes to AI. We all are trying to understand AI, as we are experiencing it, as we are feeling about it. Okay. But I think AI is a very big term, right? And therefore, I would like to my first question to you is what is AI? Okay, and what does it constitute? Is it a single technology or is it the amalgamation of various technologies? Okay. So if you can guide us, if you can just show some light on it, I think that would be very good for our audience.
Your first question itself is an answer. Let me tell you that it's an amalgamation of the various activities. Let's look at it what it actually is. When we talk about the AI is a very common term, and there is the recently it has been coined by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the having a meeting with the Bill Gates. AI in Marathi or in Hindi, AI is called as an the mother. Okay, that's how the child calls, and that's the significance. That's the very intellectually it has been coined by our Prime Minister. The mother is always the source of information. Similarly, like AI is the information of source, and this is the technology that enables the computers, it enables the machines, whatever the machines has been used for processing the data, and it stimulates the human intelligence. And obviously, it is for problem solving with the capabilities to ensure that how quickly we can resolve the issues which with the issue which is enforcing. That's as simple as it. But when we implement, when we try to work, there are various angles, and that's what I liked your things that the elephant comment, where there are various things people look at it in a different way and they feel that AI is what they've been doing. Say, for example, there is another term, BI, that's a business intelligence. So people always get confused between the AI and BI. Who does what? We'll not go into that, but the BI is more onto the strategies and the technology for analyzing the business information where it goes into the actionable sides that forms the strategic and tactical business decision. So that's the difference between the AI and BI. So it does the BI is in business, which is predominantly been known for many years, and it generates the way of examining the data, define the various trends. First, we need to understand the trends and derive those trends with the various type of the data which necessary to be analyzed in a different forms as and when it comes, and obviously the ultimate goal is forming the business decision. But what actually the data science is, and what is the relations between the artificial intelligence, the BI, AI? I think let me give the complete perspective, and then we can go more into it. The data science is a bigger umbrella. It's the prediction and the advice derived from the business analysis, which required the data science professionals to analyze and interpret. And today, if we look at the need for the industry, will come to that, but it's a huge requirement of the AI ML expert required in the industry. So, what is the relation between the AI, machine learning, and a deep learning? Are they cousins? Yeah, it looks like they are cousins because if you see the whole set is the artificial intelligence is at the outer circle, which by program, which sends the reasons, act and adapt. That's the way of the artificial intelligence works. The machine learning, definitely, machine learning means an algorithm like zeros and one, which we know from the computer programming and all. So that machine learning acquires the data from the various machines or the systems, and it exposed to the different data sets over the time. Now, combining these two, when we go deep into it, it's called as a deep learning. So we try to understand the way the AI gives the informations, it forms called as a data lake. Then we apply the machine learning, and that machine learning, there are various methods Those methods gives us the clarity that where actually we should go deep into it, and that's going to the accuracy level or the specific area of operation where the problem persists. Say in a common term, like we face some kind of the medical issue, we go the general checkup, and then we go to the and we've been diverted to go to the expert. It's a deep learning is similar like that. If we look at the complete sets of the data science, it's start from the collection and acquisition of data. Obviously, when the data is acquired, it needs to be stored. The stored data may not be useful for us. So we do the cleaning of data. Once we do the cleaning, we prepare the various data sets which is required for the various functions, and then we start using those multiple data sets for the integration for the moving to the particular analysis. And for that, we use the different analytical methods that's called as the techniques and the applications required for the precise analysis. Once that analysis is done, then it's the data to be given or the report to be given to the customer or the user who is intent to get the results or they solve the problem. That has been called as the in our terms, in IT terms, we call as the representation or visualization. And that's where the business intelligence comes in. There are various tools today available which gives the perception to present the data in a very meaningful way, graphical form. So those are called as the business intelligence techniques. And based on that, the customer start taking the actions. This completes the data science cycle. So hope I answered your questions.
Yeah, I mean, quite a bit. I mean, though I'm not a very technical person like you, okay, I will still take some time to sort of like, understand and process, right? But yes, I mean, yeah. I mean, what you say is somewhat, I'm getting to what is the whole idea of AI is, yeah, and it's of course, I mean, it is quite technical, but for me, AI is maybe it's making our life thing simple, right? Okay, so if
Yeah,
I say yeah, it's making our life simple.
I correct. So I got your thought. Maybe before you pop up the questions, I think you are thinking that what actually the AI is still it is not answered
Yeah,
because this is the background. This is the
correct.
complete
Yeah, this is
giving the overall picture.
correct,
So let's
correct,
look at
correct.
it. What are the goals of the AI? Okay, so artificial intelligence it forms, it gives or it creates the goals of planning. It uses the robotics that's called as the RPA. Then machine learning. Some areas is in natural language processing. There is the perception been formed. The knowledge has been gathered. Then it's there are some ways of the cognitive systems analysis is been done, and in some specific area, the neural networks is also being used. So what actually the artificial intelligence is? Let's look at it now. Because if I would have started with this slide, it would have not been proper because to know, to understand from where we are coming, then it gives more clarity what is an AI. So AI has the different branches. It's a deep learning, natural language processing. We call as NLP in a common term. Then ML, that's machine learning, neural networks, and the computer vision. So let's look at one machine learning out of it. It has a supervised learning or unsupervised learning, reinforced learning. So what happens is the whatever the learning is being done, so we do the reinforcement of the learning. So repetitive kind of a learning or the semi-supervised learning. Similarly, in all areas, there are subset of the operations which is required. So let me give some example of how the AI brings the value to all of us. Computer vision, which we know that the image analysis, that is the form, the complete the cognitive data analysis for various areas, the healthcare, maybe the education. For example, the educations, the institute, if I can give an example of there is a big institute where we conducted some study, a big university. They wanted to know that what is the trend of the education of the school children going into the higher studies or the colleges, and from the colleges to the postgrad scenario. So, how to identify the trend? The artificial intelligence, the neural networks has been used, deep learning exercise has been done to train the model to collect the data, reform, re-inform, use the machine learning techniques to come up the outcome of it. And that gives the perception that what is the trend, what is the market requirement. So how we can set the education pattern for next 5 years or 10 years, that becomes the government or the universities, the management decision making, that which branch they should focus more on. Because suppose there is going to be a requirement of the engineering graduate after 3 years, and the pass out of the arts or the commerce graduate increases phenomenon, then there is a scarcity, because the people who acquire the knowledge, who acquire the certification, that is not required into the industry, so it leads to an unemployment. To reduce that unemployment and create the complete employability matching to the industry, this adds the value. And that's what I said, value of AI is very important, and it applies to the various industry, various segments. So it has a different techniques: image recognition, knowledge representation, natural language processing, and the chatbot. I give you one example. Chatbot is a very common. Today, if I would like to have a chatbot created in English, the AI can use their techniques of the neural networks or the natural language processing, which gives the transformation into the various local languages. I don't have to apply anything, and that's the power of AI.
Correct.
So I give you the some of the insight where actually your questions are popping up. But
Yeah.
let's look at what is the generative AI, because today people, everyone is knowing, everyone is talking about the generative AI. Okay, the common
The chat
application.
chat GPT. Chat GPT.
Yeah,
Chat GPT. You're talking about chat
Chat
GPT.
GPT Chat GPT is nothing but generative AI. So the Duolingo and chatbot. These are the two applications I took as an example of common. There are many, and I'm sure who are the participant today, they can Google, and I think they will be more expert to finding it out the number of applications than me. So that may be the exercise to the people who are attending today to do that. So how the generative AI uses, this is the one use case I'm taking about it. Any generative AI applications has the visual content or audio content or the text or the code generation. Code generation is an output of the software or the application data generation. So visual contents, that's the images, video, and the whether it's a 3D or a 2D. Audio, either can be a music composing. The TTS is the text to speech, which is also becoming very popular today. It has generated the various content, and the text to speech is a similar thing where the conversion between the text has been captured. Then the pure text generation, that may be a creative writing of an individual or say medical. There are a lot of the papers comes out of the innovation. So those are the creative writing or the innovation has been done, which has been captured. Then there is always the intelligence has been captured from the chatbot. whatever communication happens to solve the problem. And that chatbot output or the creative which is received as a text, meaningful text has been extracted and then it is translated. So there is the process behind it. And code generation, of course, there is a code compilation, bug fixing, and all things. So this is how the generative AI or the chatbot or any application like that is being formed. See, used by the LLM, which is called as a large.
Ajay, can I just stop you here? We can come back
Sure.
to this technical because yes, I understand. I mean, from where you are coming from, you're primarily trying to tell us that how
Yeah.
AI's core technologies basically helps get things done, right? Uh, but I have a couple of questions, and maybe then we can go back to
Go
the
ahead.
technology stuff. Uh, so yes, of course. I mean, as in a layman's term, AI means it is solving problems. It is helping me. I mean, there can be a great application in healthcare, so we can detect cancer at a very very early stage because of all these technologies, and therefore,
Yeah.
I mean, I can save my life, and millions of the people can be of helpful. It can also revolutionize education. There can be a great customization in terms of education and learning per se. But at the same time, and let us not deny that fact that in um, people fear that there can be a massive job losses because it is being said that any job which is repetitive in nature and require less cognition can be replaced by machine. Okay, right? I mean, and very, I mean, see, prior to pandemic, I had a secretary who used to, book my appointment. But now I simply use one application called Calendly, and I really need not to talk to my
Can. Yeah.
clients, and they themselves can schedule all their appointments with me. And as a
Right.
result of which, that poor lady has lost her job, right? So
Yeah.
there's a common fear. So I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really true, or is it just a perception at this point in time, or is it going to get aggravated in the future, or is it reality, or it just an opinion? Okay, right. So what do you think? What's your take on that? I mean, what we are saying, is it going to be true?
It's partially true.
Okay.
The job has been lost because of, it's not because you're using the technology. The job is lost by the secretary, and I have sympathy with, because she's a poor lady, so she may not have acquainted with the technology, and that's where the actually the issue is. The technology is changing so fast. We really need to keep ourselves updated with the technology. I give an example of the secretary since you mentioned about it. So when I was working in a manufacturing company, I was also having a secretary, and she was originally as a steno. That time, the word was steno secretary. So you used to put type on a typewriter, and then we started using the computer, and we groomed all the secretaries. There was a pool of the 60, 70 steno secretary. We converted them into the personal secretary. They'll go on through the computer education training, how to use the laptop and the PC, then type Word and all those things, and they become the proficient. Because the steno, that was a different skill at those times. But computerization or Word, Excel, they have changed the dimension. So the transition needs to be done every time. So partially, yes, it's acceptable because those who don't adopt the new trend, definitely there is a fear of the job. But at the same time, when computers came in our life, everyone was saying, particularly in India in banking sector, that now because of computerization, I may lose the job. And there was a agitations into the banking and insurance sector. They created the strike and whatnot. Today, if we look at it, bank is still running the same way. So there is a business. There are the same people. Now their challenges are different because the requirement of the industry is such a huge, which were not been able to handle by the existing infrastructure, whether it's a technical, personal knowledge, whatever. And that applies today also. So I don't agree with what you say that there will be a fear of there will be a no job. But these jobs are going to be having the intellectual transformations into the human to look at the trend and practices with, I call it agile. I should be agile because if I am stubborn, then I may not able to do the job which is required. Then I may keep doing whatever, and my there is an opportunity loss. So did I answer?
Yeah, I mean, yes, yes. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying. Now, what you're trying to say is that, okay, fine. I mean, yes, I mean, there is a lot of automation in the banking sector. I mean, since we talked about banking, but at the same time, banking has also grown a lot. Okay, so maybe in earlier case, banking was like catering to I mean, maybe limited percentage of population. Now they have their outreach is grown, and therefore they've created more people to enter. But yes, they're using technology. I only have one more fear, in which I would like to kind of express with you that yes, I mean this can yes, you can manage a change, and one need to be in agile. But yes, there is also a percentage, or the percentage of demographics who may not have this access to this kind of a transformation. There can be a big
Correct.
disparity, or there can be people can deprive. But anyway, I mean that we can understand. Yeah. So now what you're trying to say is that, okay, fine, I mean AI will expand more opportunities, and you really need not to worry that whether you lose job, provided you keep yourself on that agility mode and keep learning, right? Keep learning. Okay, fantastic. Very good, very good. So, I now just wanted to understand that, uh, Ajay, as I interact with the students, I interact with parents a lot in my day-to-day life. Uh, Maybe I would like to have this from you, that often parents or students ask me that, okay, so can I do this particular computer language course, or can I do this or that? And and there's a growing aspiration towards the computer science and all this stuff. Okay, people are
Mhm.
very vocal about you know taking career in AI and data science and artificial intelligence and everywhere. So will these
Right.
kind of courses will really help students to get into this kind of career, or do you still think that there are certain skills they need to give more priority to, rather than doing such kind of short courses? What's your take on that?
Yeah. Now let's look at it. If everyone try to become and learn the data science, okay, we need to run the AI itself to see that what could be the problems may come up if there is a huge data science engineers in the industry. Because industry runs with the domain expert. And that domain expertise may be a banking, maybe a production. The people who are working onto the shop floor, the supervisors, the managers. Now they are the coming from the electrical engineering. They are a graduate from the BE or the ME or the accountant who are coming from BCom and MCom. So there is an ecosystem. Now people have the interest into the data science or the artificial intelligence or machine learning. These are some sub streams I always say. People definitely would like to catch a train which is the fastest train. But am I capable to catch that fast train? I have to run. Now I should have the readiness towards it. I always feel, and with my experience, I came from a background because data science has started in the recent years. Originally, if you look at this is a statistics. In our old good days, we were having a team of statistician in the company who used to do the complete data analysis. They were not having the recognition what has been having recognition today with the data science people. They always been treated as the accountant or the support person to the accountant. But leaving apart that side, a person who becomes any graduate or a diploma from any industry where he start working, I always recommend to do that because that's the core competency. And then add the flavor of additional training that I should know what is the generative AI. I should know what is the LLM. I should know what is the machine learning. And with the industry and you being the part of this education industry, you can guide these people, the students, that what are those short courses or the options, better options available. And being an online mechanism, there are courses available from the different top universities from the world around, and it's easy. There are programs which is run by the IIM, ISB, and the universities like the MIT or maybe the Bharati Vidyapit to say, or the I'm saying tier one, tier two, tier three, all kind of the education facilitator or the institute, they are running the various courses. It is not important that how and what kind of the course you attend. We must get a knowledge. I should know what is the generative AI. And if I'm doing, if I've done my diploma into the mechanical engineering, then I correlate this two in my job where I'm actually working into the production, that how this generative AI can be used to ease my production and bring the accuracy and the quality. That's the key of driving to the further. So, referring to your earlier question, that whether we will lose the job, no, we will not lose the job. We should augment with this technology to enhance, upscale our knowledge to bring the more quality, and that's where the India is becoming very prominent in saying that the quality destination for the manufacturing is in India. World is looking towards India for the quality manufacturing. So with this approach, we become the world number one technology and domain expert people, where we can get various advantages, no matter what kind of the education money we spent on to the learning. If I spend small, I may get small opportunity, but I can start with that small opportunity. I don't have to spend lakh of rupees for this additional education. I can spend 20,000 rupees. But by spending 20,000 rupees, I can look for a job of 1 lakh rupees. That's the suggestion. Now, what the student or the parents is forcing because of this race, no, 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 you don't do anything. You just go and do the graduation into the data science. But if I'm not good into the mathematics, if I don't know the algebra properly, if I don't know the statistical method, I may not able to do anything. Only doing the Python programming. Now, if you look at Python, is a very simple language, which is English-like programming. It's very different way being presented that everything will be done by the AI, but you need to context it properly so the program is being designed. But my brain has not been utilized. Now, the here what is required is we should have the balance of everything, not to go into the data science as the graduate. Those people who are good into the quantum physics, those people who are good into the mathematics and statistics, they can definitely go and do the better job. They can do the research job, which is very, very required in today's because world is lagging for the research people, and research comes with this kind of the skills. But for a general purpose, I should have. I'm diploma with 50% of the passing, and I should have the one course onto the data science, which gives me a good option for the employability. I should not go into the rat race. That's more of the practical enabling employment which I'm talking about it.
I
Over
think,
to you.
Ajay, Ajay, you have touched a very, very important piece and great takeaway from this session. Okay, one of the great takeaway from this session, because there's so much of rat race, as you rightly pointed out, that everyone wants to be a computer science engineer or a AI expert or a data science expert. But as you were talking about that, if we can go with the interdisciplinary kind of an approach, okay, you can learn a mechanical engineer will never go out of Shin. Electrical engineer will never go out of Shin. Biology will never go out of Shin. Physics will never go out of Shin. Agriculture will not go out of Shin. And then, once you develop your core, then you can top it up with certain kind of an technology and add lot of value. Because primarily this rat race is just because that, since computer science engineers or computer scientists are getting more salaries, better salaries, everyone wants to
Yeah,
be in that particular train, and, it is getting
correct,
crowded.
correct, correct.
And let me tell you this year, I mean, I do not know, but in India, we don't really get more data. But let me give you my first-hand data that this year in the US, the computer science admission have been very, very tough. Let me tell you, very, very tough,
Yeah,
because there's so much of flush influx into the system that universities are not able to give admission, okay, to so many people. Right. So we are
yeah,
facing a lot of challenges in this sense. But yes, of course, it is easy to get a admission in mechanical engineering. And then, once you do something on the computer science and integrate that knowledge, you can become and add a lot of value. Secondly, you also added a one very important point that yes, what you need to look at is, that how can, if you really want to be in this particular space of computer science or AI, you need to have a very core skills like mathematics. You need to have a very core skill like statistics. You need to be very high on calculus and all kind of technologies. Then only you can be very, very successful in this particular space. That's a big takeaway, Ajay. Thank you so much. Okay, and so one of our audiences also asked this particular question,
yeah,
right? And she said that, just a minute, let me read out that. What new skills? Okay, okay. So okay, fine. So this is slightly different questions, but let me say that she's asking. No, the Brian is asking that what new skills will be crucial for individual to thrive in AI enhanced careers. So what kind of skills they need to look at?
yeah. Okay, let me see the opportunities in AI. As I mentioned, is mathematics, statistics, business knowledge, programming skill, and logical thinking. This is what is
Yes.
important. Now, how I can equip, how I can be sufficient to handle this kind of a job is first two things is related to the data science, business knowledge, programming skills, that is the computer programming. Business knowledge comes from where the stream which we were talking about. It can be from any graduation stream I'm coming, and whatever the industry I'm going to work, whether it's a retail, whether it's a manufacturing, whether it's a healthcare, and on top of it, I should always have a logical thinking. Let me give you a case where how the opportunity comes in. Recently, we were running some artificial intelligence project into the farmers in the south area. Now, we have a good data scientist, but they don't know what's the farming is. So, to learn that farming, because that's in a domain acquisition. Unless and until I do the domain acquisition, I'm not able to form a statistical model. I'm not able to generate my machine learning. So learning the farming of the data which is came up, which is the rice yield. What are the variation in the rice yield and what the season is getting affected? The farmer is more important and knowledgeable than any of us. Now that person doesn't know the technology, and the technology person doesn't know the farming. That's where the collaboration is. So all jobs are good, but in particularly if someone is coming into this, I always recommend that other than the data science skills, at least we should have a one predominant skills into the stream where you started learning from. It doesn't make any difference whether you're a commerce graduate, that's fine. But you should be good into the accounting or the sales analysis, or the sales data playing, or how the invoices are generated. So those business knowledge is very important. Combining these two will give you a definite job.
Oh, fantastic. So what you mean to say is that, so people who are into domain, who are working in the respective domain at this point in time and having 4, 5 years of good domain experience, and if they now can, top it up with the certain kind of these technologies, they can create a further level of escalation as far as their career growth is concerned. This is what you're trying to say?
Yeah. So now
Yeah.
let's look at it. If I really want to become a scientist, as a basic mathematics I should have, programming skill I should have a data knowledge. I should have the data visualization, which we talked about the BI, machine learning. So that gives the data science as a core. And this is more of a research analyst job. But suppose if I'm not inclined to that, I would like to have only the data visualization where my interest is. So any BCom person or a BA person learning, getting the training onto the BI courses can do the better job, can get the employability. The person who have the similar graduation and learn the SQL, the database programming or the database handling as a database administrator, can become the data expert. It's called as the data engineering, where we do not have a people. So there are different sub branches available within the data science. But I think the confusion is people look at it very rationally. Science, they go for Python programming and then they look for something. We should widely discuss. I think you people, being the consulting to the students, you've been doing a great job. So you need to understand the mindset, their caliber, and then suggest the relevant courses to them that will give more employability rather than they choosing the courses. And that's where people like me who are in the industry, we should also go to the universities and the education institute to have an interaction with the student, to educate, to give them our perspective that what is happening in the industry and what is required, where we are facing a problem, what kind of the opportunities is being created, more on what not to do than what to do. That's more important. So
Yeah.
like me,
That's very, very
yeah,
important.
like me, I keep spending time into the giving the lectures into the universities and the schools, and that's where this is where the grasping, this is a learning to me as well.
Yep. Okay, great, great. So now again, one of our audience, Neha has put up this very important question, and I think this is a very trending news currently. And she says that with 35% of IIT Bombay students are not getting placed, do you think AI has already affected premier institution? But we really, maybe I don't know we need to really look at the data, actual data, and which are the streams, whether computer science, because IIT Bombay computer science program is very famous. I don't think so that people who are into computer science will have any challenge, but maybe we'll have to look at the complete data. Yeah, what is your take on this? I'm sure you must have
Yeah,
also heard about this.
yeah. The See this, the 35% or whatever percentage at the top school, I'm saying, not only IITB, but any top school. The mismatch is because of the perception of the student and the industry expectation. If I become a data scientist, then I am not ready to take a job for data visualization because I feel that is not a good job. But honestly, the people who are not getting the job, they should think that it's only the technical knowledge won't give them a job. They need to have a practice and learn and have an experience of the data handling. How that data handling experience will come? It can come when you start working with the industry at any level. So that's the first kind of the gap generation. Second thing is, if you go to the any portal today of any company, they are saying that they need the data science. So there is a difference. There is a contrast scenario. The people who have trained and the people who are expecting to hire the data scientist, there is a no match. Either there is a good coordination is required between the schools and the institute, the companies, where the job generation, because we are struggling, we are not getting a good people. Now, if I know that IIT Bombay or similar institute, they do not have the employability, I would like to definitely go and talk to them and see where we can help. But when we do that, many a times our experiences being in a passed out from the top school, their expectation is the starting salary is in lakhs. At the same time, when I look at the person, and this is the practical experience I'm giving, there is a school in, there is a college in Pune who is the, I would say, a B class, the NAC accreditation, B plus. The student which are passing it out, those who are doing the MBA and the data science course from the Pune University as well, where I'm also associated. So the students are coming from the Latur, Amravati. They do not have the good English speaking skills. But if I look at the two sets of people from the top school and the B school people, I prefer to take a B school people because if I'm a startup or if I can afford to pay 20,000 rupees a month salary to the B plus school MBA and versus 1 lakh rupees salary to the IIT Bombay person. So I naturally tend to uh, go for this kind of option. I know that the 20,000 rupees person, I need to groom for 4 5 months, but that's easy. Whereas I always have a fear that the IIT person who will come to me, even if I ready to pay 1 lakh rupees salary, he will work for 2 3 months and then he looks for a better opportunity and then he will go. There is no consistency. There is no the stability or the continuity working with the organization for more than 3 years. That I think is the conflict. So the numbers, I would say, there could be a specific case. I don't go into that, but this is the general experience because at the industry level we keep meeting into the various seminars and the forums, and this is the general experience, Vijay.
Yeah, there is a possibility that there
Correct.
could be commercial reasons. Yeah, what you say is that
Yeah.
you also have
But
a talent available in the market, which can come
yeah,
to you at a little less price. And as we are going through recession, even industry wants to kind of salvage their losses, salvage their cost cutting is the theme. So obviously someone coming from a premier institute will definitely ask for more because there's a peer pressure, there's a societal
yeah,
pressure. Industry can't take that, maybe.
yeah. But to answer the Neha's questions, that whatever she is saying, that the job loss is not because of the AI. The job loss is because of the circumstances, and AI doesn't play any role in this.
Correct. Right. Very true. Very true. Very interesting, Ajay. Ajay. Yeah. So now a couple of questions. Again, I would like to take one question from our audience, Nikita. What are some ways, she's saying that what are the some ways that students can contribute positively to the development of responsible use of AI technologies? Now, this is again is coming, rather it's becoming quite a buzzword that how do we use AI responsibly, right? So what's your take on that?
Very.
Ajay, if we don't require this slide, maybe you can just take out so that we can have more.
Yeah. I'll just stop this slide.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. So A very interesting question. And thanks to Nikita for raising this question. When you say the responsibility and the development, the answer lies in that one. I have a knowledge, but I don't know how responsibly I can use that knowledge. If I don't do that, then whatever development which I am trying to do, that will not be a good, correct? So we should have, and that's where one point I mentioned is the logical thinking. The industry needs the people who are logical thinkers. We just don't need the people who are having the knowledge or the technology certification. A common thinking process is required. Any solution which I'm developing for the using the AI, what is an objective? What it is being delivered to the customer and what is going to be used by the customer. For example, I give you a very classic example. The people who are traveling continuously, hotel industry is using AI. What they do, they try to understand your sentiment, they try to understand your behavior, and they come up with the solution that whenever you go to hotels, say suppose if I'm traveling, I may go into the Radisson. I am just taking for an example. So I always prefer to go into the Radisson. Now what Radisson does is they understand my behavior and the sentiment. Whenever I checked in any city or trying to book in any city, they understand that what kind of the lighting arrangement I require, what kind of the room acoustic I always prefer. And they provide me that. Naturally, I get a comfort. Now, the people who are working, contributing into this development should understand this philosophy very well. Then they can come up with the AI solution. And that applies to all areas of operation. So what Nikita is saying that it positively gives the result when you do the development use of AI technology. There's a technique. How the technique is being used, that's important. So my experience, my knowledge, and the available data, if I combine it well, naturally the AI solution is going to work with the 99% accuracy. If that accuracy is not there, that means there is something wrong in this. So I
Okay,
need to
good.
keep training it. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, so Ajay, is it something also related to ethical use of technology? Is ethics also a very important part when
Yeah.
it comes to, because it's a two-way sword? Yeah, I mean you
Yeah.
can use it positively also, you can use it negatively also. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and it's very important. I'm also part of the national data sovereignty and data security campaign. That's called organization as the CKS, Center for Knowledge Sovereignty. What we try to do is the data protection. Data is generated, and we would like to keep that in India. If the India means the origin of the point. In other countries, there are rules like GDPR, intellectual property protection. So various areas of the data governance and data protections are there. The new IT laws, which has been passed recently in last year by the amended law, it has also has the AI related guidelines. Though they are yet to get mature with the current trend and practice, which is moving very fast. But yes, our government is really looking and trying to build the well-equipped data governance model around the this ecosystem. So ethical use of the data is really important. If look at unethical way of handling the data, in the COVID, we have seen that the drug has came very quickly in shortest time. Generally, the drug cycle for testing with the animal and lab to animal and to the market is very long. Why it has been happened quickly? Because of the artificial intelligence. It's because of the blockchain technology and the various technology being used like design thinking or model designing. So all those combining together has resulted in the shortest time of the product delivery. And this is ethical. Now, unethical. Suppose the model is been tampered by someone or siphoned the data, naturally my result will not be good. Can you imagine that this kind of a drug, which is the distributed worldwide, if it would have been any small failure, what would have happened? It cost to our life,
Right.
and that's the importance of it. And it's also important that why AI is important in this.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
We can go on talking, Ajay, but we also need to keep an eye on watch. But before
yeah,
we conclude, I would like to ask you two questions. In fact, one question is that now what is next? We have seen AI. You talked about a lot of technologies. You talked about robotics. You talked about LLM. You talked about neural networking. A lot of such terms you use. I think what I'm hearing going forward is quantum computing. Yeah, I think the
yeah.
moment quantum computing will come in place, I think even AI will revolutionize in itself. Yeah. So what is next? Along with the quantum computing, what is next? So how do we prepare ourselves for that?
Okay, if I look at the technology in next 5 years, business intelligence, that's going to play a major role. Then the data science techniques, artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to play a bigger role. Then the big data analysis. A large data is being generated today, and there is no big data analysis in data engineering. Then need people who do the good data analysis. There is a requirement or the trained for blockchain and design thinking people. So these are the areas definitely going to help us to not only generate the employability but also to give the sustainability and the quality delivery to improve the life of the people. Now what those opportunity turn into, because this is still as a technology we are talking, to me the opportunities are the machine learning engineer required, data scientists required, business intelligence developers are required, research scientists, yes, they are also required. Big data engineer and architects are required. And obviously, with that, software engineer, software architect, data analyst, business analyst, they are also required. And I think to me, when someone tried to start the career in data science, they should do the first start the role of the business analyst. It gives an opportunity to not only to gel with the technology but also to interact with the end user to understand the problem very well and then correlate with the knowledge. They can give the instruction to the developer or the team of a development to resolve the problem, because that's the scope identification or crystallization of the requirement is been done very nicely. So that's where the opportunities are lying in terms of the job skills which I am talking about. And the sector wise, right from the education, healthcare to the research and development, I have not seen, but started increasing. Many people are now going to work into the quality management, patent, and IPR side, banking and finance to control the fraud. Yes, definitely people are required, and the great use of the artificial intelligence and the quantum computing with the blockchain is been envisaged or look forward, where the tightening control of the proactive way of controlling the mess can be restricted.
Okay, good, good, good. Thank you. So, lot of opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so before we conclude, what is your advice to, especially to our audience? I mean, especially students and our parents, uh, and especially when they are aspiring to get into these newer technologies, these disruptive technologies. What is your advice to them? How do they prepare? How do they move forward? what kind of skill they need to look at? Maybe you have mentioned some of them, but just a last final word from your side.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just put one slide. I think that is more the giving more clarity of what I am trying to. Failure is an inescapable part of the life, even for me, for you, for everyone, and critically important part of any successful life. So, no matter the failure are going to come, we should keep doing what we are, and these are the area of success, or these are the step for the success. No matter, our vision should be very good, should be a large vision, a long term vision. Then you can set your goals. Once you have the goals clarity, convert them into the actions. Once we do that, success is ours.
Yes, thank you. Very philosophically put it across, but good. I mean,
That's an
that's a very
experience.
yeah,
That's an
that's a way.
experience.
Yes, yes, yes. Correct. Very true. Very true. Yes. So yeah, keep learning. I think you have used one very important word, agility. I think going forward, you need to bring in
Yeah.
that agility. Failures are going to come. You may feel a little lost. Uh, may a lot of fear can crop up in your mind, and you will hear a lot of news like 35% of the IITians are not getting jobs, and there is a tendency that you may lose your passion in the whole process. But don't worry, as Ajay said, failures are
One
going to be
point,
part. Yeah,
Vijay.
yeah,
One point, Vijay. If I see, I've been interacting with the various startups, and as you are
yeah.
also aware that I do mentoring, advising to various companies. So today, the government has the excellent scheme for the startups. There are various incubation program has been run by the universities and the education institute. I really worried that the 35% what number the Neha was talking about, they would have been guided by the institute for the becoming the entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurs, yes.
That's where the people, those who can have those kind of a caliber can be identified. And when you people give the consulting advice to the education or the higher education, I think we all can find out the talent of the people who can become an entrepreneur and guide them. There is a fantastic schemes available from the government. We are not going in that direction. We must look for becoming the self-sufficient, sustainable entrepreneurship model, which will give more and more comfort to our own the development and the career.
Yeah. Very true, very true. With that, thank you, Ajay. Thank you for spending
Yeah,
last almost like more than 1 hour. You have given us a lot of ideas, very, very important and critical advice as to how we need to look at. And that, as I said, the masterpiece was, look at those interdisciplinary opportunities. Don't just run for computer science or AI. Okay, you can eventually you can kind of bring them to you, but in a little different format. Interdisciplinary is a way forward. So thank you very much, Ajay. Thank you so much. Okay. And maybe in the future we may like to interact with you on the same topic, but maybe with a more detail on maybe the newer
yeah,
technologies, or something of that sort, or maybe on the entrepreneurship. How can you create the entrepreneurship in this tech field? Okay, we'll definitely interact. So thank you very
yeah,
much,
yeah.
Ajay, and
That
thank you, audience, for joining
that would
us.
be, that is the favorite topic.
Yes, 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 I know. So thank you, audience. Thank you, student. Thank you, parents. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And this was Ajay, and Ajay brought us a lot of important information. And let us look forward for another session next Saturday. Okay, and we'll let you know about the time and the topic very soon. Yeah, so be in touch. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care and have a
Thank
safe
you.
and happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajay.